YNW Melly back in court today. His attorney saying the state has not given enough evidence to this point to keep him in jail, but prosecutors say they have proven plenty that shows he needs to remain behind bars.
Oh, please don't you cry, I'm sorry, I just thought sometime I'll be home soon.
After a recent incident involving YNW Melly inside jail, a judge reportedly began discussing a possible release deal with his legal team. Sources say Melly was attacked inside his housing unit, possibly over commissary items or control within the block. In jail culture, high-profile inmates are often targeted to gain status. What's suspicious is that just 1 month earlier, after YNW Bortland accepted a plea deal, leaked emails showed prosecutors feared Bortland would be attacked before testifying. Instead, Melly became the target. Investigators now believe the incident may have been planned. At the same time, Melly was close to securing bond or house arrest and had reportedly ordered a $100,000 chain for his release celebration.
I would assume
that
he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry and you're not here to wear the jewelry?
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend
That's
money
what
on.
bro. But he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for lawyers. Like, he's fine, but it's just like, there was a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. And I'm like, bro.
Melly's possible release followed a lawsuit he filed against the Broward Sheriff's Office, accusing them of cruel and inhumane treatment. He claimed he had been kept in isolation, denied contact with his family for nearly 3 years, forced to live in freezing conditions, and served food that was barely edible. His mother described his situation as unbearable, saying he barely survived mentally after the mistrial. She expressed frustration that despite nearly beating the case, he remains locked up and cut off from communication.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
Melly's mother, Jamie King, said she is heartbroken and feels completely helpless watching her son suffer and be treated inhumanly behind bars.
You saw Melly's statement just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
The situation quickly gained traction online. Charleston White reacted publicly, saying Melly should not receive special treatment simply because he is a rapper. His comments sparked widespread debate across social media.
The YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
Rap veteran Boosie also spoke out, showing sympathy for Melly's mother. He said he understands her pain, explaining that his own family went through similar struggles during his legal battles.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a...
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
As Melly's lawsuit and his mother's viral interviews gained attention, more court hearings were scheduled to discuss the possibility of house arrest. However, shortly after, federal authorities responded by arresting Melly's ex, Mariah Hamilton,
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
Mariah was originally expected to testify in Melly's case, but fled the country, fearing for her safety after what happened to Sakasar and Juvie years later. When she returned to the United States, she was arrested at the airport. In court, her lawyers described the harsh conditions she faced in jail. The judge then offered her a deal: testify against YNW Melly and walk free. She accepted immediately. Shortly after her release, she posted on Facebook, writing, "To my village, thank you all so much. God's plan, not mine."
State filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
Investigators later claimed Melly used jail phone calls to influence Mariah to flee, leading to witness tampering charges. This offense carries serious consequences and could result in a life sentence, even if Melly is cleared of the murder charges. Evidence from Melly's iCloud allegedly confirmed these calls, which is why he has been banned from using jail phones for over a year. This witness tampering case is separate from the Sakasar and Juvie murders, meaning Melly could still face life in prison regardless of the outcome. Juvie's father has publicly confirmed Melly's involvement in the tampering allegations.
There's this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
when the case returned to court, prosecutors presented evidence that impacted the judge's decision on Melly's bond. They began by showing text messages in which Melly allegedly admitted involvement in the crime.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
Prosecutors also presented video footage showing Melly dancing with YNW Bortland in a parking lot, just 5 hours after the murders took place.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
The footage showed no visible signs of grief for his deceased friends. Prosecutors then introduced video evidence placing Melly in the back left seat of the Jeep, a position consistent with the bullet trajectories, which traveled from left to right. Court records and statements from Juvie's mother confirmed Melly was sitting in that seat.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right-hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
Melly's defense team argued he deserved house arrest, pointing out that no firearm was ever recovered and supporting their claim that the shooting was the result of a drive-by attack.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what firearm was used.
Okay.
They also questioned why YNW Bortland was offered a plea deal, despite evidence reportedly being found hidden inside his home.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Demons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortland allegedly tampered with the witness.
Prosecutors later revealed newly discovered photos of handwritten notes found in Bortland's house. The notes included sketches of jurors and their seating arrangements, raising concerns about potential retaliation if Melly were convicted.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortland, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
Despite this, Bortland's plea deal remained unchanged. He pleaded no contest to accessory after the fact and accepted a 10-year prison sentence, along with 6 years of probation. DJ Academics explained that this agreement requires Bortland to provide a full factual account of the crime, effectively testifying against Melly.
Tweet out saying people are upset. I said, this is a gunner plea. This is a gunner plea. This isn't a plea saying you have to tell on him, but this is a plea that you're going to have to provide all the details that they were missing to convict him. And that's why it's a gunner plea. Why do I say he signed a gunner plea? Because YNW Melly, and I watched the case, we covered it. YNW Melly's case is that, number one, you guys have not done a job to prove that this is actually they have proved, but prove that this is a homicide with this person being the offender. Also, the accessory after the fact plea confirms that Bortland, that's kind of like almost like a sub part of a conspiracy, except you weren't with the conspiracy at first. You came in after the fact. What that proved is that they came in. Oh my God, what that proved is that Bortland worked with someone after he acknowledged that a took place in trying to cover it up. You hear what I just said? When pleading to an accessory to after the fact, you have to acknowledge that the happened and you assisted someone or in some way to cover the. Now, if Melly's statement is, how do we know? And then secondly, how do we know who did it? Because they said it was a drive-by.
Kodak Black's attorney, Brad Cohen, reacted to the situation, stating, YNW Bortland took the bait and will likely flip on rapper YNW Melly after accepting the plea deal in the double murder case.
All right, let's talk YNW Melly and YNW Bortland. He is now doing the triple Lindy. For those youngsters that don't know what the triple Lindy is, it is when you do several flips off a high dive, and he will be flipping. He is going to be tell-all about anything he knows about the double case, and they will know if he's telling the truth or telling a lie when he gives his full quote-unquote confession as to what happened that evening. And that's what happens a lot of times where guys are in the prison for 4 or 5 years awaiting trial and looking at a life sentence, and they're offered 10 years where they'll be home probably in another 3 years that he'll serve. He decides to flip and become a cheese eater. And that's what happens a lot of times on these cases. And I was expecting it to happen a lot sooner than it did. He held out for quite some time. But long story short is it looks like he's going to flip. And it makes the case on YNW Melly, depending on what he says, which I anticipate he'll say that YNW Melly is responsible.
Comment below if you believe YNW Melly is guilty or innocent, and like the video if you still listen to his music.